Live. Can I put people in
I'm
focus?
ready.
And we should be live here, Friday Night Hangout. All right, here let's get some stuff going on here. Let me just get this down. All right, hey folks, it is the Friday Night Hangout. This is where we get together, shoot the breeze with the boys. Here we got from uh, from the backwoods of Tatamagouche, Wallace, Nova Scotia. We got Keith Elliott from Keith Elliott Stone, and from Toronto, we got Jocelyn with us here, surviving. And of course, I am in Halifax, where we got a lot of stuff going on here. So, boys, let's start here. Now, just a reminder, folks. This is the messy basement where I got, well, stuff going on here. So we're
Are you
trimming,
sitting at
we're trimming. Yeah, there's less junk than it was last time.
Are you sitting at the pink desk?
At a what?
At the pink desk?
No, the pink desk
No.
is upstairs. So now we'll go over the COVID remote status here shortly here, but basically this was our first week of uh, work at home for both of us, me and the missus, and the missus opted to take the little pink kids desk, the first school desk. Nice, actually, it's a nice wood piece actually. Anyway, the missus painted it pink with a little IKEA chair. So she opted that as hers, and of course I get the messy basement down here. So that was the trade off. However, this was our first full week of being down in the basement or at home for the entire week, and of course I've been in the basement basically the entire week. Uh, I'm not ready to shoot somebody. Like it is, this stress is real. I don't know what it is. If it's the same thing with you guys here, but man, I need some interaction at some point, eh?
It's an adjustment for sure.
It's definitely an adjustment. Speaking of adjustment, there's a lag between your video and the audio, so it's kind of weird right now.
Yeah, week two of trying to adjust to the new thing here. I think I need to call in from another device here. I think this computer is just maxing out just a little too much here. So
Yeah, yeah. So your audio comes in, and then I would say there's about a 3 second delay for your video.
yeah, yeah, that's
I
that.
can't look at you because then I don't know when I'm supposed to talk.
Yeah, I'll try to anticipate my reactions when you talk. Hey, try now.
Yeah, because right now you look you kind of look like one of those translated kung fu movies.
Exactly. Well, it's funny. I was browsing through the Prime Video selection there the other night, and I was basically going through all the Hong Kong stuff. Because surprisingly, I went through quite a bit of Hong Kong movies and Jackie Chan. I went through some Jet Li. Amazon Prime has a lot of
Really?
content. It has a lot of content. If you want some martial arts fix from 70s, early 80s, like the garbage era, but the awesome era, that is Amazon Prime Video. That's where you want it, man.
Interesting. Yeah, right now you're still talking on my screen.
Sorry about that. I can only do so much, Jocelyn. Next week I'll have the audio visual all set up here for you. Well, the people who are watching the stream live, they have a full immersive experience. Not only do we have our beautiful faces here in the majority portion of the screen, looking at Keith right now. We have the chat from the YouTube just overlay there on the left side, and of course on the right side we got my Twitter feed going on right now. So
Beauty.
people can like get all sorts of information through this hangout here.
Beautiful.
That's good stuff. So, might as well start, boys. Traditions. What we're drinking tonight.
Yeah,
Jocelyn, we'll start with you.
I'll start with that one. So this is called the Octopus Wants to Fight IPA. It's from Great Lakes Brewery, and Great Lakes Brewery is one of the oldest craft breweries in Canada. They started in the 80s. I want to say 87 or 86. So that's a long time ago. There weren't a lot of craft breweries in Canada at the time, and they're just down the road from me here in Etobicoke. And they were one of the first. It's funny. This is crazy, guys. Things are changing so damn quickly. A few days ago, maybe a week ago, some of the craft breweries in Toronto, including these guys, started delivering without waiting for the government to allow this, because obviously this is not allowed. So it started doing that, and now the government, the Ontario government and the Nova Scotia government and the Quebec government actually have okayed craft breweries to deliver temporarily. So I got this delivered a few days ago.
Wow.
For free. Yeah, free delivery.
That's awesome.
Beautiful, huh?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Keith, what are you drinking tonight, my friend?
I broke out, times. It's the Ball Blair 1999 single malt Scotch.
Wow, well done, sir. Well done. It is International Whiskey Day.
Yes, exactly.
Unfortunately, I was on the hunt for some whiskey tonight, so I got done my remote work and I needed to get out. I drove through so many NSLC locations where the lineup resembled the bread line in Russia.
Wow.
It was ridiculous. Obviously, things are getting kind of tight, and I just didn't feel like standing outside for an hour while people browse. So I made it basically all the way to the seaport, and which was the only establishment that I was able to get to that had people. So I'm going to pull out not Jocelyn's favorite, but I have the Imperial IPA in the can for a little bit later. I do have Jocelyn's favorite in this cup right here that I have in my Yeti, keeping it nice and cold because that's how you're supposed to drink it.
Not the spruce beer. No.
That is absolutely. Oh, that is
so.
Absolutely the spruce beer, and it tastes so good, so good.
Oh man! I don't know how you do it.
That's the secret. You got to keep it cold. Got to keep it cold.
Yeah, sure. Mute the awful taste of it.
All right, folks. If you are watching the live stream right now, there's a couple of ways you can interact. If you're watching on YouTube, you can add comments in the stream, so you should be able to see that popping up here on the screen. And of course, we'll be monitoring that. Or you can send me a tweet. We'll eventually go through the Twitter feed that you see here on the right side here. So, boys, I was mentioning earlier about how it's been rough week for us. We have a 6-year-old, as you know, in the house, almost 7. Wednesday was meltdown day. It was a tough day on Wednesday. Tried to balance everybody out, and wasn't quite the most productive day. Ironically, today was my most busy day. I was pretty much pinned pretty much the entire day. How about you guys? What's going on your neck of the woods?
Yeah, life's different this week for sure. I'm not working right now. That may change next week, but the kids have been off school for 2 weeks now, so trying to keep them busy, trying to split them up a bit, and just get them outside, just get them. I had Alex out in the garage with me today, but yeah, just to get into that routine, I find pretty hard because things really don't feel normal. But yeah, keep them busy as best I can, doing house projects. I finished my office up today. Doing some cooking, cleaning, the usual.
Yeah, it's been a tough week, man. It's my second week of working from home, but I've worked from home often in the past, but this is obviously different. But in the business I'm in, we've been deemed an essential service in most provinces except for Quebec. And also we have an office in Washington State, and there we have been deemed to be not an essential service either. So in both those locations, we had this week to lay off all our staff. and that ain't fun, man. It
No,
is
no,
not fun
difficult.
to do. It's not fun. It's some of the people there in Quebec. I've known some of these people for 30 years, right? And it's they're heart wrenching things to do. But in the end, you got to protect the company to make sure that the business is still intact and in good health when we get out of this mess, right? So that everybody can return. So it's
Yeah.
Yep.
tough in the meantime.
Lives first, livelihood second, I guess, is the way you have to look at it.
Yeah. Exactly. That's really well said.
The thing that helps is that we had all these quick movements by governments here to start sending us checks, and I think for us in Canada, they've increased the amount of funding that's available for small businesses and individuals and all this other stuff to keep the liquidity in some of these businesses going. But unfortunately, I don't work for a small business. I'm with a very large multinational consulting group here. And we've had our checkpoint meetings and we've been having our meetings. And basically, the question comes out is like, what's going on? Everything is starting to slow down. The only
Yeah,
sectors, the only clients that we have that's not slowing down is public sector and banks. Those two are full blast because they need obviously to keep running at 100%. There's another one, pulp and paper. They're full blast too.
right.
So those are the industries. Now, unfortunately, we don't have everybody. Of course, I was working in oil and gas, and right now gas is down to what, 64 cents a liter in Nova Scotia. Ridiculous.
Crazy, yeah. Crazy.
So what was the thing I saw here on Twitter? It costs more for a barrel of monkeys than a barrel of Albertan gas. And I'm like, what? It can't be that cheap. Of course, I went up, and yeah, sure enough, it's like $3 or $4 a barrel for oil, Albertan oil. It's ridiculous. My
Yep.
God.
Wow. Wow. It's terrible.
Yeah, terrible.
Terrible.
But the same thing though is like we're kind of safe now for our business, but I can expect once we get to after Easter, mid to late, if we can't move people to other jobs or other projects. I think some of these people are still going. They're kind of starting early just to get people on board and whatever. But yeah, I can definitely see other people like I was affected. Luckily, I have other roles in my company, so I can actually do other stuff. But I'd say in 3 weeks, things might get a little hairy on our side of things.
It's changing. Never mind daily. It's changing by the hour.
Yeah.
We find ourselves our company. We've created a coronavirus committee, and we meet every morning at 9, every single morning. Um, obviously, by WebEx, but um, and we put a plan for where we are, and we find that by noon, things have already evolved, and we are having to revise our plans constantly. It's insane. The pace of this is nuts.
Yeah. Keith, how do you find things moving? Like, and I agree with Jocelyn, they're moving extraordinarily fast.
Yeah, I try not to keep on top of the news like I have been, but yeah, I check in, 2 or 3 times a day, and yeah, there's something different all the time.
I titled this episode the business continuity plan, but
Yeah.
to be quite honest, this is what every company, small, large business, is like. Hey, I've watched the zombie apocalypse shows on TV with Walking Dead, but I haven't really thought about it in real life, how it affects everything and how it trickles down to all sorts of stuff. I heard one tonight there when I was driving in trying to find my beer for tonight. It's how basically computer repair. If you have, for example, a Mac or an Apple product, uh, can't get it fixed for the next little while. Uh,
Oh yeah. Right.
yeah, because Apple stores. Same thing, I'm sure, with other stuff. I can't, so because I have a little bit of extra time, I've been doing a lot of training, upskilling to try to make myself more marketable and get ready for some certification exams. And the online proctoring is not available because guess what? They end up being in the call center. So they shut down the call center.
Right,
So I
right.
can't take exams. I can study, but I can't take exams right now. So how things are trickling over, it's not just toilet paper and freaking truck stops, man. You can just go down the line there. It's just ridiculous how
But
things
but
are affecting.
that's how thin everything is. The supply chain, services, everything. That's how, delicate it is. You just see it in a matter of days.
Yeah.
Gridlock.
And I don't want to say these zombie preppers are starting to look good, but man, these zombie preppers are. But then again, they're having problems too. On the media podcast, they were saying how they didn't quite prep for this type of scenario.
Nobody prepped for this kind of scenario. It's unprecedented. Maybe it's not unprecedented, but it's certainly unprecedented in this era because 100 years ago, the Spanish flu of 1918, 1919
Mhm.
was an event of probably even more epic proportions. With what was it, like 11 million people that died
Yeah,
Yeah,
during that?
I think it was about 60,000 in Canada died from the flu at that time, out of a
Yeah,
population of 8 million. So
right. So the proportions were of a magnitude that we can't even comprehend today. But the thing about it is that there was so much less, you know, media and accessibility to all this stuff that I'm sure people were somewhat shielded from all this madness.
they
But
would have
now
been
you
so
can't
isolated
escape.
though at that time. They wouldn't have known the latest news, what to do, where it was. And I mean, now everything's on the computer. We can keep on top of it too much. But back then, so many people would have been in the dark or had dated, information.
oh yeah.
No question. No question.
You talk about the track of information here.
Yeah, we all have to adjust, right? And we have to find new ways of occupying my time. So one of the things I did, and I think I shared with you guys, is that I bought a guitar, and I'm going to be trying to learn how to play the guitar over the next few weeks.
Why not?
Why not?
Seriously.
Exactly. Why not?
Exactly.
But
I mean, it beats just watching Netflix all day.
I mean, we knew this was coming to some degree, but it happened a lot faster, I think, than anybody anticipated. The whole, oh, it's here. Oh, everything's shut down. That's what kind of caught me off guard. Not that it was coming, but how fast everything evolved. And basically less than a week.
Well, less
So I've
than a
been
week.
uh, I've been out a bit. In recent days, I try to go for a walk every day. Just to keep some sanity and get some fresh air and whatnot, right? And I have found, and obviously I'm in Toronto, right? So there are other people having walks. I'm not alone out there. And I found that in general, people are pretty good, even when you cross each other on the sidewalk at like going around and keeping that distance. I found that people are pretty respectful of that. It's actually quite remarkable, I find.
I
Yeah,
found
it's pretty calm here too. I mean, people have anxiety, people are stressed, but for the most part, they seem to be really considerate.
What have you seen in Halifax, Jim? You got a bit more people there than in Keith's neck of the woods.
yeah, well, I was just gonna say here, and I was trying to cut in the last couple of minutes, but I noticed I was muted. But basically, I've been going out every other day to go to the grocery store and adjacent liquor stores because I can't break it out of my habit. I'm not gonna buy, stuff in bulk. I buy things for 2, 3 days, and then we make the meals there. So it's a hard habit for one for to get into to plan ahead multiple days. But you know what? There's some days that everybody's in the house, and the missus is like, why don't you? I want something cooked nice because I'm the cook in the house. So cook something
Yeah,
nice. Make something good so I can eat, not just canned food. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna need this and this and this. So I go down to Sobeys and I would say the older population is a little bit more leery, weird in terms of walking around, walking faster than they normally would, and just darting around. Anybody's sort of kind of getting into the area, so it's been a bit of an adjustment. The liquor store situation this week, they've swear to God, if you're a fan of the Dexter TV show, don't know if you guys watched any of that, but the part of the show, this is the show about a serial killer, and then he just used a lot of plastic drop cloths or plastic wrap to kill his victims, and he would prepare the room, the kill room. Anyway, the liquor store was basically looking like a scene from Dexter, and I said to the lady, "This looks like Dexter. This is ridiculous." But it's everybody's there, and then even today, I had to get something for me just to kill the time. I didn't get a guitar, Jocelyn, because I have the banjo, which I've been ignoring, but I did get something that shoots pellets, and we'll talk a little bit later. But I went to Cabela's.
You're gonna put your eye out, Jim.
No. I'll show it later.
Put on your safety glasses. That's all you need.
No. I got it right here. No, hang on. I'll show it later. I'll show it.
Tune in next week for One-Eyed Jim.
Call me McClintock with the eye patch, just like John Wayne.
Oh my God.
Hey, we got GC Storm on the chat.
Hey.
Whoa. Welcome back.
Welcome back indeed.
I tell you, it's been crazy. Hey, let's do a quick look at the chat here. Bluefin, who just arrived from offshore duties there. We're home now. My wife is busy baking up a storm. The kids are doing their university courses online, and I've been reviewing my YouTube channel, starting to update previous videos, descriptions, etc. And my son has been playing the mandolin all week, Jocelyn. So you're gonna have to
nice.
You have to bone up.
Go.
Hey, we might actually have. So we got the guitar here. We got a mandolin. Well, banjo if I ever learn it. And then Keith, you're gonna pick up a string instrument, are you?
At some point, yeah.
The enthusiasm, love it, Keith. That's the first step.
It's hard to plan ahead right now.
No, I mean, it's been kind of odd here in town. Actually, just to finish your point there, Jocelyn, it's been kind of odd. People are staying close, but But I do see lots of people still going out to work and stuff. Probably like you in Toronto, you still see plenty of cars on the highways. People still. I got my next door neighbor. He leaves every morning at 6:45, and he goes to Burnside and the industrial park, and he does his thing for a full day. So there are quite a few people who are getting out and doing their jobs, right? So.
Well, that's just it. Lights have to be kept on, and food has to be kept on the shelves, and yeah.
Yeah, and even in our case, this, we're just flooring, but we do supply flooring to, construction sites, and which have been deemed essential services, certainly in Ontario and a lot of other provinces. And we got guys in the warehouse every day doing what they need to do in the warehouse, and we've taken extraordinary measures to protect them, but I my hat's off to them, because they're out there, and they have to get themselves to work and go work, while a lot of us have the luxury, if you will, of working from home, and nowhere is perfectly safe, but the more you distance yourself, the better you'll be.
Exactly. So I know there was a event that happened at the Bedford Superstore this afternoon. It got shut down around lunchtime. So one of the staff tested positive there, so they shut that down along with the NSLC. That's why I heard about it. It was closed when I walked up, and everything was shuttered down there. But I mean, people still got to work. People gotta go to Tim's. I saw. Did you guys see that lady at Glenholm, the old Petro-Canada?
Yes.
Keeping her truck stop open and giving them free food for the guys.
Oh, wow.
On the trucks. You
Yep,
know,
she has showers available for them, and free, like in the morning she'll have free breakfast sandwiches, and she started that up because when this shutdown initially started, the truckers were complaining that they couldn't even go through a drive-through because all the
Right.
restaurants were closed, and some of the drive-throughs weren't serving the truck drivers when they walk up to the window. They just say no, and I think that's changed now quite a bit. But yeah, she said, well, she didn't want them to be go without because a lot of options are gone
absolutely.
for those guys, and they're essential. They're on the road 24/7. I mean, there's not very many cars on the road near here, but there's still a lot of trucks every morning. So
You know, you talk about
And we rely on them.
yeah, the supply chain is still rolling, right? I mean, the adjusted logistics to the warehouse at Superstore and Loblaws and you know Jostens, where they're still rolling, right? And yeah,
Yeah. And listen, we will come out of this, right? This is not going to last forever. And we can't be, at that point in time when the dust settles on all this craziness, we can't be at a standstill in the economy where you try to get things rolling back, but there's no supply, right?
yeah,
but
So
exactly.
it's going to
supply
take a
chain is
long time to get
super
back there,
important.
though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
The one thing that I was kind of disappointed with that occurred was the fact that I hadn't really heard about anything going on in school. The little ones in the French school system,
Yeah, yeah.
and there's not a lot of resources. And I've been hearing other schools in the area they're starting to do online stuff and this and that. So it looks like, at least in Halifax, they're finally getting around. And we did get an email saying that asking whether or not we had internet at home and had a computer at home. It sounds like teachers are prepping up to start to do some online stuff. Now, our little girl is in grade 1, so I will be very interested to see what that looks like in the next week or two. I assume it'll be another 2 weeks. And like you said, Jocelyn, we're going to come out of it. We're going to come out of it in May. There is nothing up about it. So so what do you think about that, Keith? Because you got kids now still in school there. So
I'm not worried about it right yet. Last week was March break. I let them have the March break. This week, I'm just slowly trying to, you know, pull up the stick. But I think next week I'm going to try to get them into more of a routine. I'm not worried about it yet. I'm really not. But I agree. I don't think they're going to be in school until at least May, if at all this year.
absolutely, same thing. We just heard word that the libraries are still going to stay close to the end of the month of April. There, Jocelyn, what about you? Is there anything that's closed that you are probably not surprised is going to stay closed till May, or?
Well, listen, I mean, what's been, as you guys know, I'm originally from Quebec, right? And so I still keep a close eye on what's going on there, and a lot of my family is still there, right? And that is incredible there because it is more shut down than anywhere else. Yet they have the most cases in Canada. So that's kind of a weird thing, and I don't know. I don't know if it's because there's been more testing, or I can't answer that one. But man, a lot of my contact network is people that work in the same industry as me, and store owners and all that, and they are shut down.
Wow, it's crazy. It's crazy. Just going back to the chat here for a second. Bluefin was saying here, we are lucky there's still so many people working for essential services, but working safe as possible. Yeah. I mean, the more this goes, I think you'll see people being a little bit respecting more distance, more sanitizer, more gloves, and all that stuff.
Things will never be the same again. Never.
No, 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 no. Bluefin also commented here, this should teach people that we are not really prepared for emergencies at all. So true.
Yeah.
And he says, I think school will be closed until September. They are done for the year here. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, for all intents and purposes, university, you're done. You're done.
So they've already made that call in Alberta, by the way, on the schools.
Oh, really?
They've already called a year.
Really?
I mean, look how many
Yeah.
things are closed into May. They delayed recreational fishing till at least May 1st. Like you said, the libraries are closed till the end of April. There's other, like, uh, Nova Scotia Parks put an email today, said they're not going to take online reservations anytime soon. So, like you say, this is pushing until at least May. And I think that's what they're planning for. So who knows where we're going to be in a month's time.
Yeah.
The recreational fishing, I thought was funny. Really, all it says is that we will not issue recreational fishing licenses till May 1st. That's what they said.
Yeah. So starting April, you can go start doing some fishing. So I know Roger here, GC Storm, he's going to be going out and doing some fishing.
Who's going to come stop you?
Nobody. They're all working from home. They're all using their webcams.
They're
Just
more important
saying.
to deal with. They don't want to get in your face. But I see Washington State shut down the recreational fishing completely indefinitely.
Huh.
Crazy. All right. So we'll take a little pause here because it is half at the hour here. So we're going to do another round of what we're drinking tonight because we got a few people watching us on the chat here. Joss, and kick us off with what you are drinking tonight.
I'm still in the same beer, man. And but I'll say something different. This place, Great Lakes Brewery, fantastic place. They have a little tap room there, and they have a little hut outside that prepares food. Obviously, it's closed now, but they make some really, really good food. And nice people who care about the products that they put out, and it feels almost like your local. Even though they've been around for a while as a craft brewer, it feels like your local hangout type of place. It's a really nice place. Nice people, good beer, great beer.
Keith, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm still nursing the ball player 99.
Yeah, boy, you still got ways to go there, son.
Hey, I'm just that's saving that for special occasions. The end of the world is a special occasion, so I broke it out tonight, and it's International Whiskey Day.
Damn.
When this runs out, I'm going to be down a potato peel pooch. I think that's going to be it.
All right, so I don't know if I still got the delay. I just hit the video, but my output. But I'll be drinking here the Imperial IPA here shortly. I'm just finishing off my Garrison Spruce beer, Jocelyn's favorite beer.
Terrible.
All right. Hey, well, welcome Steve of Venture Outdoors down in North Carolina. He's saying he must stay away from 6 feet from all fish, and especially Steve. He found some dolphins. He shot some great video on his YouTube channel on some dolphins near shore. He was able to capture with his DJI Mavic drone. And Roger or GC Storm is drinking the Inducement Double IPA from Unfiltered. Ooh. That is pretty nice. And then Charlene is saying...
right there.
What is she drinking? What are you drinking? Tanqueray?
Gin. Tanqueray gin.
Tanqueray gin. All right,
I actually went to...
Hello.
I went to the LCBO today and bought a gigantic jug of Tanqueray gin.
I'm trying. We're behind the time zone. I'm trying to get stuff done so I can come on.
Oh, okay, that's why. All right, no problem, Charlene. We'll get you next time. Doing her duties, she said.
Oh yeah.
If she was doing her duties, she'd serve me a little shot of bourbon right now because it's International Whiskey Day.
Oh, there we go.
For some reason, I'm thinking about rum sours.
Oh, man, rum sour. Dude, you know what? That night, we had so much fun. You remember the Cards Against Humanity that night?
I do.
I have never laughed so hard.
That's something we should have to ask the missus if she put Cards Against Humanity in the moving boxes here, but... what we should do is we should pull out our decks and just do random Cards Against Humanity round. Did we do that before? The old Hangouts?
We used to do that way back in the day. That just seems like a million years ago now.
Yeah, I know. I can barely remember that.
It was a million years ago.
Oh. All right. Just finish off the round of drinking here. We got Bluefin. He's just got the last glass of Sazy Suds. his own personal recipe from his kegerator. And
Nice.
Steve is on his sweet southern iced tea. And I believe that means that it has some vodka in it. Pretty sure.
I like it.
All right, awesome. So I think we spent enough time on the COVID stuff, that kind of stuff. So
Yes.
so what's next? What's next on the agenda, boys? I don't know. What's
Well,
the topic?
let's talk about what we're watching on Netflix these days. One of the things that I'm kind of excited about watching that just came out actually today is Ozark season 3.
Ah,
Have you watched the first 2 seasons?
I have not. Keith, have you watched that?
No, I have not.
That includes Jason Bateman, right?
Hmm.
That is correct. I highly, highly recommend it. It is really well written, really well acted, great storyline. There's like it. Everything about that series is great, and I'm really looking forward to season 3.
Nice. Keith, what are you watching?
I started Justified.
Yes,
Really
and
enjoyed that so far. Yes, and I've also been, going down the YouTube rabbit hole, checking out the new and old NWA wrestling. And if you're a sports fan, it's kind of fun to go back and pick like a random hockey game from the '70s that you don't know the score for, and just start watching it. That's kind of fun. I enjoy that. Why the hell not?
awesome.
Wow,
That's
that's
awesome.
it's funny. It's funny what what just a couple weeks of madness has done to us because we're that's. Would you have done that before this crap?
No, it makes you nostalgic for all these weird things. I've been thinking about food I ate when I was a kid, like this week. I'm like, okay, next grocery trip, just things you've never thought about in years.
I've reached out to people I hadn't reached out in a long time, and just texting or whatever and saying hi.
Yeah.
It does do that. You're right.
Well, I think that I heard this from somebody else that said that they have all of a sudden a lot of time to think about a lot of other stuff, and which is
Mhm.
one of the things reaching out to people, looking at things that you haven't had a chance, quote unquote, because you're too busy.
Feet staring into the void.
Yeah. Well,
True, true.
I am. What am I watching? I've been on the Prime Video. I am a huge fan of the Prime Video. It is just a hot dumpster fire of awesome videos from the 80s and the 70s. I was watching a lot of exploitation videos, like exploitation movies. Uh, Basically, I click on the thumbnails that has like scantily clad women on it. So one of them was Black Shampoo, one of my best openings ever.
That's on
Bl-
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime,
Are you
Black
serious?
Shampoo. Watch the first
Wow.
10 minutes. It's amazing.
I
They
think I
got
kind of know where it's going, so I could probably.
oh no, I've watched some early Joe Dante movies like the prison Big Mama prison movies, and he had a whole bunch of other exploitation movies before he kind of got famous with more mainstream movies there. But anyway, it's
You're
fantastic.
digging deep, Jim. You're digging deep.
Oh, I am digging deep because when I'm around family, I gotta play family friendly videos and shows. So we've been watching
Are you
Hannah.
saying I could be showing the boys Oz?
No, I've been
Oh,
watching Hannah Montana with the little girl. So we, so I've been watching that, and I've been watching, like I said earlier, I've been watching some of the late '70s, early '80s Jet Li, Jackie Chan movies. There's not a lot of Jackie Chan, but there's a crap load of Jet Li movies. Really good stuff. And I'm just about ready to hit the trigger on Hunters on the Prime
Oh yeah, I
Video.
want to watch that.
Yeah, so I've been holding off, but I think I'm ready to jump into that. On the Netflix side, I just finished watching the new stand up by Tom Segura who's
Sure,
on
yeah.
your mom's podcast. A little bit dirtier than his other specials, but I laughed. It's for guys. It's for guys. If you want guy humor,
I've been showing the boys some like classic, what I call classic movies from like the 80s, and they're eating some of that stuff up. So
well, I've been buying a whole bunch on Apple on the iTunes. I have all three first. I got the First Blood trilogy or Rambo trilogy. I got the Nightmare on Elm Street 3, and I bought the Friday the 13th 8 or 9 movies there. I'm all good. I'm good for that.
The one thing I gotta watch in the next few days, and it just came out on demand. I subscribe to Bell Cable here, and on demand. So the rise of Skywalker, the new Star Wars or the latest Star Wars, is out now on demand. And guys, this is the first Star Wars movie, including the first one in 1977, that I haven't seen in the theater. Because I saw the first one,
mhm.
and for a bunch of different reasons, I never went to see this one in the theater. So I still haven't seen it. Can't wait to see it, and it's going to be probably this weekend.
Well, we went to see it over the Christmas holidays. I liked it. I thought it was good. Nice ending. Yeah, sure, there's some holes. I think, and I don't remember the previous one. I forget the name of it there, but I don't know. They were just really trying to close up the loops, but I think you'll like it. I think you will
It had a
like it.
lot of loose ends, and I'm not giving any spoilers or anything. But to me, it's just like I'm kind of more like take it or leave it with fiction. I don't pick the shit out of it. It's like I liked it or I don't.
No,
I'm not going to sit there and stew about it. I was okay with it. Like you say, there's a lot of loose ends, and uh, and I'm okay with it. I mean, and that's the thing about the last chapter in any like a trilogy or a book series or anything. It's not going to satisfy everybody, and it's not going to satisfy you completely either. But hey, I enjoyed it.
no,
Exactly.
but I'm with you on that, Keith. I'm not going to start, analyzing it to death and trying to find holes in it. I just try to enjoy it at the moment. I remember when the first one, Star Wars 1, which
Yes.
was the fourth one to come out, when it came out, and really when you look at it today and how awful it was, but at the time, I enjoyed it because it was, hey, Star Wars was back, right? And I was okay with it, and I didn't poke holes in it and so on. I was okay with it. Today it hasn't really survived very well, and like I hate Jar Jar Binks, as everybody should.
Yeah, but it made when you watch the videos of the guy having like mental breakdowns and stuff like that, I gotta tell you that first prequel movie that destroyed more lives than it helped because you got that lightsaber kid and Jar
Mm-hmm.
Jar Binks guy. Those two lives were destroyed for like 30 years.
Isn't little Andy in jail now?
What's that?
I think little Anakin's in jail, like for real.
Oh yeah,
Oh, really?
third
Yeah.
life. Yeah, there you
No,
go. Yeah, so there you go,
really.
man. I tell you that was it. What was it called? Phantom Menace.
The Phantom Menace. That's right.
Terrible, terrible. Hey, let's go back to the chat here. A lot of people have been chatting here. Talking about the TV shows. Bluefin saying that the Ozarks is good. It says here that Undercover is a great series, a Dutch show, dubbed but good. I understand 000, and I think that's on Prime, the Amazon Prime. Apparently, that's the hottest show right now that's going on in Europe right now. I guess it's insane. Same type of undercover espionage, drug stuff there. So apparently that's really good. GC Storm was saying here, disappointed that the filming of season 6 of Peaky Blinders is delayed due to COVID. Have to wait even longer. Yes, Peaky Blinders. That's on my watch later queue, along with Penny Dreadful. I want Penny Dreadful was a movie or a TV series here about. Well, I'll let you guys Google it there, but I saw the first season of it, and that was when I was pirating American satellite signals, so only watched so much of it. And then when I lost access, couldn't get my hands of it because nobody really plays the show in Canada. Adventure Outdoors, Steve saying here, Prime Video is better than Netflix. We are watching Tiger King. Tiger King, boys, have you watched that Tiger King? I watched the first 15 minutes of it. That looks batshit insane.
It's off the chain. I don't know. Just from what people have said, I don't know if I'm into it. I'm kind of. I just can't take a lot of real. I can't take a lot of reality stuff right now. I'm just not into it. Like, just give me an escape. Calgon, take me the fuck away. Like, just go.
But it's big cat guys in Florida, nor Arkansas, no Oklahoma. That's where.
Did you watch all of it or most of it or?
No. I just finished watching the first 15 minutes, and then when they started doing the interviews with the workers, how they were like down on their luck, and then the next day they're taking care of big cats. I'm seeing them doing the tours, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I would love to watch this when I'm like mostly drunk or a little bit of CBD in me to be totally relaxed, because
Mushroom.
yeah, exactly.
You see this? Mostly drunk, you say? Mostly drunk.
I've been trying to hold back because I see all these Russian bread lines in front of our liquor stores here, so I can't. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you can't run out, right?
I can't run out, but I'm not gonna stand a half an hour outside with 6 feet distance of people waiting to get no, ain't happening. I'm not gonna do like Bluefin.
When you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna do like Bluefin does. I'm just gonna go get my home brew going. See, there's the kegerator behind me, right there. I don't know if you see the fridge. It's there. I'm giving it away to somebody actually, because I'm not doing it because I can't do home brew stuff with the little one. She's 2 and she wants to be involved in everything Daddy does, and having 5-gallon boiling pot of water is not what I think.
Let's make alcohol.
Yeah. Hey, little girl, let's make some alcohol. So I showed her the gun that I bought today instead. So, are we ready for this yet?
Yeah, I got a gun.
We're not ready for it, but
okay. I'll hold it off. I
I
did buy a gun because this is a random thought. I posted to the guys here this morning. I said, even though I don't need it now, haven't seen anything that would make me want to, but it's like, if this goes on for another few weeks or a month or 2 months, I need something stronger in the house than bear spray and my Louisville Slugger baseball bat.
Just tell them you're the Jehovah's Witnesses and hand them a pamphlet.
True, I could do that too.
Go on. Just like that.
Look what's coming. Look what's coming. International Whiskey Day, guys.
Oh, we got here.
I gotta see this.
International Whiskey Day.
Oh, there you go.
Little Basil Hayden's bourbon.
Nice.
I'm taking the bottle back.
Hands
It would
delivered.
not be a happy ending otherwise.
Thank you.
Awesome.
That was awesome.
That's a good drink. I had that bottle a couple of months ago. It was good. It was on recommendation. I wanted something else, and then Buddy's like, "Oh, go for this one. It's cost effective." And when he's using when he's using the term cost effective, I'm like, "Hey, I'm in. Let's get this." Let's just finish up the chat here. Steve was saying here, it's an escape. Once you start, you can't watch. Watching Tiger King, you can't make that shit up. Charlene says he loves my hat. She loves my hat. Of course, it's a Tilly hat. Wait a minute, is that a joke? Anyway, just kidding. Roger says here, I have 3 Festa kits ready to go in buckets. So Roger's keeping himself busy with his home brew. I'm glad that he's continuing his home brewing. Bluefin has 2 5-gallon batches carbon right now.
Damn.
Enough hops, grains, and yeast for 2 more 5-gallon batches. So 4 batches.
Beautiful.
Total. Man. I tell you, it is crazy. All right, so I know the show people watching on the YouTube, they're having quite a blast here because they've seen my Twitter feed at the same time, and that Twitter feed is highly entertaining for people.
I can't see it.
No, well, of course not. No, you gotta focus on us. Gotta focus on us.
I got to focus on the task at hand, man.
All right, so is ready? Is it time to show my gun yet? No, just kidding.
No, it is. Like, come on, you got to get
No,
to it
no.
now.
So what happened was I went to Cabela's tonight because I'm like, one, I'm bored. I am bored. I can't. I'm spending most of my day down here in this basement with all the stuff that we have to take to the landfill. So all this stuff like metal and wood I have to bring to a landfill. They're not accepting anybody to drop by. I have all sorts of batteries and chemicals and paint cans that I can't drop off because they don't accept drop offs.
What are you talking about? You've got all this time on your hands.
Well, no, I'm all prepped. I'm ready to go. So what I decided to do was, and then I'm like, you know what? I need some adventure. So I got me a nice air pistol. That's what I got me. I got me an air gun, BB gun, a pellet gun. I wanted something. I didn't want a rifle, because I ended up getting a nice little. Look at this thing. Look at this thing.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Whatever you shoot with that, you realize you're just going to piss it off, don't you?
No. I got the zombie target thing. I got the little target stuff here, and
That's going to be your self-defense mechanism. Wait for a raccoon to come through the air.
No. I got the cameras out back. No, Keith, I got the cameras out back. They're ready for motion detection. I got the thing on my phone. I can pull out my little air gun and start popping caps. Literally, there are caps because they're pellets. The 177. So there you go. I got the light grain so that they have more feet per second. Like the guy at Cabela's was telling me tonight. And there you go. That's what's
feet per second. If you have a pissed off raccoon, you'll be moving.
You know what? Have you seen that video of that lady who dealt with her raccoon in their backyard? Did you see that?
Oh no, I haven't seen that. But Keith is hilarious right now.
I blame whiskey.
Jocelyn,
I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you.
Jocelyn, what do you expect with two guys wearing hats inside?
Well, yeah, no kidding. I can wear my little hoodie here.
All right. So the chat here says no. Charlene says here, no joke. You both look great. OC needs a hat too, but his hoodie look, trying to be like somebody from Toronto, like the Toronto look, Etobicoke.
Well, it's funny. This morning I was wearing exactly what I'm wearing now in our WebEx little conference call, and one of the guys says, "You look a bit like Emperor Palpatine."
So is that Etobicoke chic?
Yeah, it's a Etobicoke chic. Exactly.
Etobicoke chic. Bluefin saying in Newfoundland the landfills are closed too. So for people's trash are piling up in their basements. So check out the Hangouts the next couple weeks. You'll see more bags behind me. The LCs, yeah. Roger says here the LCs could close. Yeah, the LCs, I would say that they're going to close or restrict things even more in the next little while. So it's going to be for people who can go cold turkey, they'll be able to go cold turkey, but there's quite a few people that ain't going to be able to do it, like me.
Liquor stores, you mean?
Yeah, liquor stores.
I can't see them closing them. Even in Quebec, where like I said, the restrictions are the most stringent, they didn't close the SAQ. And the other thing is, like all the craft brewers, right? Most of them, they're not even small businesses. They're tiny businesses. And they need to continue brewing and selling their products. So they're going to continue to deliver for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed today in Nova Scotia they're going to let the restaurants not just deliver food but deliver alcohol as well, as long as they have a license. Like I think we might have discussed that earlier, but that's going to help them. And since the microbreweries can't fill growlers right now, they're going to want to get a lot of their product out.
Yeah,
to the people.
absolutely.
Yeah,
And
all those small businesses, they need help, right? They need our business.
yeah, exactly. The PEI Liquor Corporation, they reversed the decision last week to shut down. They're going to offer delivery service now. So the
No
moon,
potato peeps, I guess.
yeah. So the moonshiners in PI will have a little bit of competition now. They have 1 week of grace period of getting some business, and
They had a monopoly for 1 week.
yeah, 1 week, and then give them a chance to boil their potatoes because it's PI potatoes. That's a
Oh
joke if
man,
you don't know that Prince Edward Island does a lot of potatoes.
I
yeah, there's a
Uh,
moonshining tradition there.
yeah, no, well, it's good because they keep, because I posted in Twitter, this is true. If you go to the western side of the island, you go to houses, there's certain houses that have Christmas lights on the front porch in July, and if the lights are on, bootlegger or the moonshiner is ready for business. So,
No
That's
way,
old, that's old school, man. They still do that?
oh yes, hell yes,
really?
Yeah.
oh yes, oh
No
yes.
bootleggers here
That's
anymore.
hilarious.
Oh yeah, I tell you, Prince Edward Island is one of these weird places that kind of shit still goes on. You wouldn't think?
Wow,
Yeah,
that's funny.
crazy. But back to the point there, too, the liquor stores won't close. The other place that probably won't close is our cannabis locations. I'm reading the thing in the Washington Post today. States that have their cannabis stores are getting increased ridiculous amounts of business. They are hiring the laid off people to fill in the
Wow.
orders and deliveries and all that, so especially the medical cannabis. And I tell you, it's a good time. Man, if you didn't invest in cannabis grow ops, a little late.
Yeah.
But you know, Charlene in the chat posted a good thing here about grocery delivery here. Overbooked in Toronto, overbooking at least 2 weeks. Wow, not too many slots. The thing here too, the missus started to do the online delivery, or basically does her groceries. She did via Walmart this week. She went on the Walmart and she did her order, and then she drove up, and then it was a little bit of a clusterfudge, and took a little longer because they were out of things, and she had to substitute and back and forth. But even now, she put in the order tonight. Won't be able to do it until Thursday of next week. So I can totally see that these businesses or these companies who offer these grocery delivery pickup slash thing, I can see them going all in and trying to fill that void, and really changing the nature of their business.
It'll change the landscape for sure. I see a lot of the small farms are offering online ordering now for meat and vegetables. There's a business starting up near here, and she's going to deliver food boxes once a week. So we have one coming next week, all fresh local produce.
So 2 years ago, when I broke my foot, and I was stuck at home for 3 months, and one of those months I was literally on my own. I relied on home delivery of, from IGA. I was in Laval, Quebec at the time, and I would do my orders online, and then they would deliver, and it was great. But the thing about it is that, and Charlene and I were discussing it today, is that these businesses, whether it's the big guys, Loblaws and Sobeys and Metro and all those big guns, they have, put up their infrastructure to accept orders, and that's easy for them. You can go online and place your order. They don't have enough manpower to actually pick the orders, pack the orders, and get them ready for delivery, and they don't have enough people to deliver.
Yeah.
So the thing about that is that right now there's a lot of people that are unemployed, right, because they've been laid off or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that they have an opportunity to really step up their game quickly. But I mean, again, this is days old, and trying to wrap your head around that as a business to try to capitalize, not just capitalize on that, but to fill the void that a market requires, it's not easy to do in days. right?
Oh,
Days.
Small businesses are going to evolve quickly. You're going to see more of an online presence for online shopping. It doesn't matter how big or small. And a lot of businesses aren't really quick to accept online payments. You're going to see that change in a hurry. I mean, they'll never look back. The ones that survive, I mean, that's kind of morbid, but it's true.
It is.
No, you're right.
Yeah, it's morbid, but then it'd be interesting to see because what else are businesses going to do other than to do the push? Even you see the track of the usage of Zoom, which we're not using tonight, but all these yoga studios doing the classroom effect using Zoom for right now, or using different tools and just pushing it, right? You think of it, the last time there was this big work from home kind of push or whatever, God, when was that? Was that 10 years ago, 15 years ago?
But even then, the tools didn't exist.
Yeah, exactly.
You're still on the phone. People are still on the phone working from home all the time. It was like, what could I call?
Instagram is basically a prime shopping spot. How many things do you go through your Instagram feed and you see the ad to shop, to buy something that you actually tapped on, open it up and say, you know what, I'm going to keep this for next time because I might order it, or you've ordered it. I've done that a couple times. Scrolling through my Instagram, I see an ad, random ad, and I order something from it. You're going to see, and same thing with the movies. You're talking about Last Skywalker, all that stuff. You're gonna see studios making big decisions whether or not to delay movies, like Black Widow movie, or Wonder Woman, delay that. But there are other movies, like for example, Invisible Man, and there's a couple other ones that literally just came out a couple weeks ago, early March, and they're already available for downloads.
Right.
I would see that trend to increase, if not say, you know what, frick it, let's just put it on digital downloads, and then whenever people can go back to theaters, we'll put it into theaters. I'm gonna say I'll call it right now. I'll see that flip happening sooner than later if this thing goes beyond April.
Oh yeah, for sure. And listen, it's not that long ago. We all remember the days when we used to get in our cars, go to Blockbuster or your local, movie rental place, and we would all spend, I don't know, let's say, call it $6 to $15 a week renting movies. Okay, so probably on average $25, $30, $40 a month renting movies. Right, we've gotten away from that, and the studios will need to continue making money on the movies that they produce. Right. And it's not going to be in the theaters, not for sure until summer. Nobody's going to sit in the theater in May or June.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen, right? So, but they're going to have to generate income.
And a lot of services are taking down their paywall through all this. So, I mean, it's exposing a lot of new markets there. So, who knows what will happen afterwards? But
yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. All right, let's do a quick little check here on the chat. I saw some things scrolling. All right, so we got basically liquor stores. Bluefin saying liquor stores, phone in, and online ordering with curbside pickup. Quite a few places are doing that. We could not get pickup grocery till April 4th. Booking a few days ago at a large local grocer. The Square D thing may pick up some new small business. Not familiar what that Square D thing is.
Square is an online payment platform.
Oh, okay, the Square thing. Okay.
Yeah, I use it.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so Square is not just online payment, face-to-face payment. Yeah, for sure. Shopify, which is a Canadian company started in Ottawa, is going to pick up a lot of new customers, just because they provide a service that is kind of out of the box for small businesses to just have a presence online, right?
Yeah. And finally, Bluefin says we're much better off with all the technology online ordering. We now have to deal with this situation. It's true. Thank goodness that this situation came where we can actually do stuff at home, order stuff online, or deliver stuff, get it delivered, and
So true.
reduce on that. All right, so with that, guys, I think this capped out a pretty good hangout. I don't know about you guys, unless there's another topic you guys want to talk about.
Listen, I'm hoping that by, not that I think that this will have slowed by next week when we do another hangout on Friday. It will not. It will have expanded in Canada for sure, and in the US. Things are going to get worse before it gets better. But I'm hoping that 7 days will have put a bit of normalcy in our lives, and that we don't talk just about this, and that we can move on to other things and just talk about something else.
Absolutely. Keith, final words.
Enjoy yourself.
Treat yourself.
No, seriously, take time for yourself.
International Whiskey Day.
Why am I the one without whiskey? What's going on here? I have spruce.
You got to fix that, buddy.
Oh, I'll stand in line tomorrow. I'll get some.
You could be buying a gun.
Already got my gun. I'll bring that up tomorrow while I wait in line. I said, "Can I skip?" Yeah.
Shit getting real in Bedford.
Yeah. All right, folks. We're gonna cap it off for tonight. You can always watch this live stream at your leisure on the YouTube, or you can subscribe to the podcast. I will be editing the video over the weekend so that you won't have quite a long podcast to go through with the ums and ahs. We'll try to get that edited down, but the first cut will be posted shortly here. So I'd like to thank Joss and Keith. I'd like to thank all the participants in the chat room. Today we had Blue Thin or Mustang 404, we had Charlene, we had Adventure Outdoors, we had GC Storm, and I think that's about it. So quite a nice crew back with us here tonight, so I really appreciate it. So with that, we'll talk to you guys next time.